Hey every cell, I'm Nabayt, and today I'll be guiding you through natural selection. This video is structured to help you understand each key concept step by step. From Darwin's discoveries to modern genetics, we're going to explore everything in a clear, logical sequence, so by the end, you'll have a complete and connected picture of how natural selection and evolution shape the living world. What is evolution and natural selection? Let's begin with the foundation. Evolution is a change in the genetic composition of a population over generations. And here's something important. While evolution is measured at the population level, natural selection happens at the level of individuals. According to Charles Darwin's theory, organisms produce more offspring than the environment can support, which leads to competition for resources like food, space, and mates. Individuals with favorable phenotypes such as thicker fur in cold climates, sharper vision for spotting predators, or camouflage coloring for hiding are more likely to survive and reproduce. These traits increase an individual's evolutionary fitness, meaning they are more likely to pass on their genes to the next generation. This process is called differential survival and reproduction, and over many generations, it causes those beneficial traits to become more common in the population. That's how evolution happens, a change in the population's genetic makeup over time. The environment, including biotic factors like predators and abiotic factors like climate, play a major role in determining which traits are favored and how quickly evolution occurs. Next, let's look at how we organize and trace relationships between organisms. Phylogenetic trees and cladograms are visual tools that start from a common ancestor and branch out to show how species evolved. Cladograms show shared traits in a clean, simple layout. Phylogenetic trees use molecular data and show how much change has occurred. Every time a branch splits or we see a fork, we're looking at a shared ancestor. Understanding these diagrams help us trace the path of evolution clearly and visually. Now that we know how evolution happens through inheritance, let's zoom in on its engine, genetic variation. This refers to the differences in DNA among individuals in a population. Natural selection requires this variation to work. Without it, evolution cannot occur. So the more variation in a population, the higher the chance that some individuals will survive when the environment changes. Let's connect these ideas to a real-life example, the peppered moths of England. Before the Industrial Revolution, light moths thrived, but once soot darkened tree bark, dark moths had better camouflage. In just a few generations, the population shifted from mostly light to mostly dark. This is a classic example of directional selection, one trait that was clearly favored due to a changing environment. Now, natural selection isn't the only factor that changes populations. Let's break down a few more processes that causes evolution, which are the 5 fingers of evolution. Firstly, on our thumb, adaptation, traits that give us an advantage that help individuals survive and reproduce. Secondly, on our pointer, gene flow. When organisms migrate, they introduce or remove genes from a population. On our middle finger, mutations. These random changes in DNA introduce new traits. On our ring finger, non-random mating. Certain traits like a peacock's tail may increase an individual's chance of attracting another mate. Lastly, on our pinky, genetic drift. In small populations, random events can drastically change gene frequencies. This includes the bottleneck effect and founder effect, as well as other processes like stabilizing selection, which favors the average trait and eliminates the extremes. For example, human birth weight tends to be in the middle range because it's safest for survival. And directional selection, which favors one extreme, like the dark-colored peppered moths becoming more common during the Industrial Revolution. A full walkthrough of Unit 7, Natural Selection.